there, comic friends, I'm Travis, and it's What the Fugue, where I talk about what's going on with me in my world of comics. How's this going, everybody? Been a long time since I've done one of these that's just by itself. Who knows, maybe we'll have more of those. Chances are we won't, but who knows? Because my time is probably going to become more finite as far as time I have to screw around in front of the camera and whatnot. My job duties are changing a little bit, so I'm not sure exactly how much that's going to pressure my time. But we'll see. I still have this idea for some videos that I want to do that I've been talking about for over a year now that I want to do. My holdup right now is, you know, some of these videos I have a little intro type thing. I've been trying to work out some drumming for a new intro. And that's been my excuse for not doing those videos. So we'll see how long that lasts. At any rate, first thing off the bat, when I get my comic books and the comic book roundtable, been having a lot of issues with how my books are coming from Discount Comic Book Service. They continue to get slower and slower, it seems. You know, I'm still arguing with them over, you know, who's at fault and whatnot. You know, they say the post office is the issue. I have a hard time believing that in this case. At any rate, so as you notice, there was no comic book roundtable last week because we didn't get our books. And I say we because it's not just me. Jen, Comic Book Girl, she's on the show with us back again now. She gets her books from Discount Comic Book Service, and she's not getting hers either. So it looks like for the time being anyway, I still have this fantasy that the books are going to start coming right. But for the time being, we're going to do Comic Book Roundtable, and we're going to talk about the books from the prior week. So hopefully that's not too big of a bummer for people. I mean, part of me likes talking about the books that just came out now because that's what everybody's talking about. So that's the fun thing to get to talk about is those books on the week that they're fresh in everybody's head and everybody's done it and whatnot. I'm hoping it doesn't. The enthusiasm does not go away if we're talking about the books to the prior week. So that'll be a little bit of a format change as far as that goes. So this Saturday, we'll be talking about the books that came out the Wednesday before. So, and we'll see how that goes. If you guys are interested in watching it that way or not. I have noticed getting my books late where I'm not trying to power read in 2 days, 20-some books. I noticed as I've been having to read them slower, I can't read as many of them. I'm absorbing them a little differently, a little more critical of some of the stuff, so that could be fun and interesting, and may change the way the comics I pick up and whatnot. We'll see how that all plays out. Anyway, so comic book on table this week. But we're talking about the book to the week past kind of a thing. And I think that's how it's going to be going forward for at least a while anyway. I'll talk more with the people who are on the comic book table and see if that's what we want to continue with or not. Let's see what else is going on with me. Let's talk about this. Imaginary Fiends. This is issue number 1 here. It just ended. I'll be talking about the finale of it on the Comic Book Roundtable. I really enjoyed the book quite a bit. It definitely has a kind of an old Vertigo style feel to it. It has some great twists at the end of it. Basically, it has to do with these supposed imaginary friends. They're actually real. They're interdimensional beings that come into existence, and they feed off of their host's emotions. They start out with all the great, wonderful emotions and creativity that a child starts out with, and then as the child gets older, then they start feeding off of fears and insecurities and all that sort of stuff. And in this case, a murder happens around them, around this in the past. There is a special branch of the FBI, a particular agent, who hires on a girl who has been in prison for the murder of her friend. She's actually in a youth insane asylum because, you know, her imaginary friend made her do it, kind of thing. And she... So she can see imaginary friends, the investigator knows these imaginary friends really exist. He can't see them, so he basically hires her and her imaginary friend to help them investigate other things that have to do with imaginary friends. And they go on this case of missing children and whatnot. Great stuff. Really enjoyed it. Written by Tim Seeley. Molnar is on art. Anyway, great stuff and whatnot. So the reason, why am I talking about this now? Not really to do a review on it particularly, but just a certain amount of frustration I had. I follow Tim Seeley on Twitter, like the guy, love a lot of what he writes and whatnot. And he's always, oh, you got to buy the singles, you got to support your local comic book store. That's the only way comics get made. That's the way comics keep going and whatnot. I'm all for that, yay. And then I noticed issue number 6 came out, and I had asked, wow, is there, this should be an ongoing, not a miniseries, because it like I said, it ends with 6. Ends with 6, and I'm like, this should be an ongoing. It has that kind of feel. I mean, there's more stories, right? Oh yeah, lots more stories. At any rate, so cut the story short. He was on Twitter at the end of issue 6 saying, if you want to see more of this, it's all on the trade sales. The trades are what matters. Well, you just got done saying weeks ago that the singles are what matters. I mean, I get that they both matter, but don't tell me that one matters over the other when it doesn't, or whatever suits your need at the time. I just find it frustrating. Clearly buy and consume comics however you want to. Buy is the key there. Don't pirate the stuff off the internet. However it works for you. I mean, I do think there's a certain amount of logic in that if the singles sell so horribly, it may not make it to the first trade, let alone anything past that. I do know there are quite a few books that come out, and we see the first 5 issues, and then I think they set and wait to see how trade sales and trade orders are looking before they continue on as an investment to the creators, if nothing else. So, fortunate this isn't selling that well. If that's the case, nothing from Vertigo is anymore, it sounds like. But I really dig it. I really enjoyed it. I would love to see this be an ongoing. There's just so much they can explore, all kinds of great stories and whatnot. And Tim Seeley writes an excellent long form story. Just go check out Revival. Clearly written with a long, longevity thought to it, not let's just instant gratification anything. Anyway, lots of fun. Like the book. If you did not pick it up in singles, I do recommend it in trade. It's a great read. Lots of fun with a cool twist at the end that I quite enjoyed. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is, so I am horrible at putting my comics away in my boxes. They inevitably stack up. I'm in my basement. This stuff's all in my basement. I inevitably stack up in the living room until I have a massive amount of them stacked up, and then I go about putting them away, and it's always a painful process. If you follow me on Twitter, go check it out. I actually have a small little video that shows them scattered across my living room floor as I'm trying to get them put away and whatnot. I actually have 2 1/4 long boxes of current books to get put away, and I hate myself every time I do this, and I keep saying once I get caught up, get them all in the boxes, then every week, man, I'll put them away. I'll put them away every week. I never get, to be quite honest, I never totally get caught up. That's 2 long boxes on top of the 2+ long boxes I have of Vertigo books that I had just picked up that you've seen the videos over the last time. So, anyway, so all kinds of stuff there to get put away. So hopefully, but anyway, in the process of doing that, of course, I'm looking at all these covers as I'm tossing them out across my floor, trying to get them in some sort of order or whatnot. And I thought it was funny. I have some Nightwing books, and I'm always talking with, or have in the past quite a bit with John DaCosta. Check him out on YouTube. About how the fact is that it seems like on all of Nightwing's videos, he's always getting his ass handed to him. And why would you want to keep reading a book where every time you pick up the cover, your hero is getting just, absolutely, beat silly? The New 52 was crazy that way. And I collected the first like 20 some issues. What I got here? 28. This is showing 28. 28 issues of Nightwing. And he's getting beat up on most of them. So I'm not gonna go dig through my long box to prove the point or whatnot, but I just as a funny comparison. So I have 4 issues of Nightwing here, 25 through 28. That's 2 months worth because Nightwing double ships. So let's take a look at those covers, and then I've got another book that of course I'm putting away right now that I will compare it to. You know, your argument, I guess, one way or the other, whether it's comparatively close to the same or not. But just as a comparison, it's another Bat Family book. But anyway, so, you know, there's issue 25 of Nightwing, and clearly he's getting his ass, you know, beat there. His clothes are shredded, you know, his sticks are being chewed up, and clearly in a bad way. Let's see what we got here. So, issue 26, he's full of bolts. He's been shot by Huntress a bunch of times. You know, he's down and out kind of a deal. Clearly being beat up again. So issue 27, here's one where he's not. It's just a montage shot of a bunch of people from, you know, all of the Spiral stuff and whatnot, right? So there he's not beaten up. And then finally, issue 28, he's clearly gotten his ass beat. He's getting his mind blasted. All kinds of good stuff there as far as all that goes, right? So 3 out of 4 issues, he is getting the stuffings knocked out of him. So, by comparison, not far from the piles, I have, let's see if I can get it in some sort of order. I have Batgirl, right? Doesn't that seem like a fair comparison? Batgirl versus Nightwing. Let's see here. I should have put this in order before I sat down here, right? Anyway, just take me a second. Okay, so I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my God, 9 months worth of comics that I didn't get put away. That's how bad that is. So I thought it was 5 months. Clearly, just counting Batgirl, it's actually 9 months worth of comics. So that's why I have, you know, 2+ long boxes. Anyway, so we'll look at these. So I've got 9 issues. So I've even got more issues, you know, to give a fairer chance for more Batgirl having her ass beat, like poor Nightwing, right? Comparatively, Batgirl and Nightwing, right? In where their standings are in the whole Bat Family, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so here we go. Issue 13. No, she's not getting her ass beat. She's out to fight stuff with Catwoman. So, issue number 14. Nope. Current Batgirl and old Batgirl there fighting, but certainly smiling and not getting their butt beat and whatnot. Okay, so here's one that might be considered an assault. She's being assaulted by Dick Grayson there, by Nightwing. So maybe that cover. So what we got? We've gone 3 covers now. Here's cover number 4. Nope, more her just looking cool. Right? Cover number 5. Her in a fight, questionable. Even though she's getting beat up in this one, you know, somebody's on top of her, but she doesn't look like she's getting owned. She's not bloody. She's not. Her clothes aren't torn. Well, I guess they're cut a little bit. So maybe that's 1 out of 4 or 5. So here's number 5. Clearly, she's getting beat up here. Harlequin's thunking on her, right? Because it's all about Harley in that picture. Issue 6. Nope. She's hanging out with the Penguin. Number 7. Yep, clearly she's beat up in that one. Buried in snow. You only see one eyeball and a few fingertips. Okay, fair enough. So here's issue number 21. And I don't know if she's getting beat up. I mean, she's clearly, you know, something's got a hold of her, but she's got a batarang out and whatnot. So, I don't know. Questionable on that one, right? And back to the Batgirl. So, out of all of those, what? If we don't count the assault by Dick Grayson, right? Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe? I don't know. I question some of these on whether or not she's really getting her butt handed to. So 4 out of what? out of 9, right? So less than half. I don't know. Why is Dick Grayson always showed getting his ass beat? Anybody got a thought? Because it's, I mean, go back and look. Go back and look at the Rebirth and go back and look at New 52. So the last, what, 5 years at least of Nightwing? What's up with that? What's up with that? Anyway, have a great one. See you whenever the next one is.